the way that the versions worked out for us.
It looks like both erasers are off. Link's house not giving us anything we want yet.
Nope, not yet. Just a 5 bomb upgrade, and both head Sanctuary, get their Piece of Heart. And now watch Xirtanul's routing. He has a very different and unique routing to his runs. He always does this, and it's really fascinating because it's so different. Let's see what AaronDobbe does. Looks like they're going to go follow the more traditional route, go through the North Kakariko.
That was a really quick map check. I saw Eastern was a crystal, and there's one other crystal on the map.
That is impressive that you saw that. I didn't see anything, so that was too fast for me.
So Xirtanul's going for the Houlihan?
Yeah, and he does this every time. He does the same thing. He gets his Houlihan, then he hops off. Later on, he'll hop off and check the Lake Hylia Island, and then go through the south of Kakariko and check all that kind of stuff first. It's really interesting. He does it every time. And we did see bomb drops off of the bush crabs on AaronDobbe's side, so that is a very nice find for AaronDobbe.
It's means without those rupees, he can still check all the bomb spots in Kakariko fairly easily. So it's definitely going to help out.
Yes, indeed. And then that's a replenishable source of bombs. Xirtanul does buy their bombs with that Houlihan. They're able to do that very easily. But AaronDobbe's already got 10 bombs because of those bush crabs. And I think it was just 20 rupees on Lake Hylia Island. I couldn't quite make it out.
It was 20 rupees on the island and 20 rupees in the Lumberjack Cave.
So it was, and yes, indeed. Good eyes. Oh, and there's our first bottle, and it is an empty one. So that's nice to find before heading into Kakariko. Be able to check Sick Kid, all in that same routing.
Yeah, the less times you have to backtrack back there, the better.
Yes, indeed. Anytime you can do a location all in one go, that is for the best.
And that's a mirror in the Lake of the Dam.
Wow, so that's a big item as Xirtanul gets 20 rupees outside of the chest. The mirror, that's our first major item in the seed, as AaronDobbe is now in the lucrative blind set. We'll see what that has for us as we get more bombs. 5 arrow upgrade, 20 rupees, and 5 arrow upgrade. So nothing in blind set so far.
Xirtanul's making this. Oh, Aaron got the silvers already.
Oh, okay. That is very nice. And now the one thing I kind of wish that those were not found in somewhere that everybody checks. I love when silvers are found somewhere less obvious. That's something nobody will miss.
I think Xirtanul got cheated with one of those bombs. That bomb was squarely on the mini Moldorm. It did not die.
Yeah, that was really interesting, and he thought so too, as he gets the Ice Rod, so that will no longer be a trolley item in the seed. We don't know if it's required yet, but it will not troll.
I'm kind of surprised he didn't make the route over to Ice Rod Cave since he was in the area. Hopefully it doesn't come back later.
Yeah, every time I've watched him, he's never done that. He always waits until he gets flute or flippers to be able to make it a quicker way. He does this every single time. It's the exact same routing. You can predict that he'll do it, and sometimes it's paid off pretty well for him. I mean, he's made it to the semifinals, so it's clearly been a good start to his racing.
Yeah, we do see different runners skip different locations just because of how rare it is for them to pay out. So this is probably just one of those calculated plays.
Yeah, definitely agree. And Xirtanul picking up those extra bombs has not seen what the bush crabs have dropped yet, but they're probably going to find out pretty soon here and be like, dang it, I just wasted a few seconds picking up those bombs.
And Bombo's on the Sick Kid.
All right.
No sword to use with it yet, but that'll help when they get to Mire and Turtle Rock if it requires one of those.
Yes, indeed, as well as potentially Ice Palace. That does help with possibility of Ice Palace if that Fire Rod indeed is a trolley item?
We've seen it in Ice Palace a few times, so that's certainly a possibility.
That is very true. It is. Ice Rod can be there, and what?
I believe that was Hookshot.
Okay, yeah. Indeed it was. I just watched the restream. Wow, okay, so boots are going to be required, and there's 300 rupees in the race game. AaronDobbe does not go for those. All right, so now that both runners are kind of covering places that the other runner has been, where do you think the next play is for either of our runners?
Well, there's a few items they can check over in Eastern if they want to go that route. They may not have the bow yet to guarantee clear it, but it is a crystal, so it's still kind of worthwhile to clear out, even if you can't complete it yet.
Yeah, I mean, like, really, Eastern Palace and the whole with the hostel it's got to be the play at this point, because there's not a lot. As we get the map check from AaronDobbe, and it looked like it was the red pendant in Desert, and was it another crystal in Tower Hera? It looked like it might have been a pendant.
It was the 5 crystal in Tower of Hera.
Oh, 5 crystal. All right.
Ooh. Aaron's getting trolled a little bit by those Moldorms.
Yes, he is. He's got to be careful. Down to 1 heart. Oh,
the heart despawned at the last second.
Oh my goodness. He got so trolled by those, and then threw the bomb, tried to get the heart, and despawned right as he got there, and then killed himself. Oh man, that is unfortunate. So now we know the Ice Rod was up there. So how does he go straight back there? And it looks like he is.
I don't think he has a lot of other locations to check. Right now, this is the most densely packed area of chests for Aaron.
Yeah, and you never want to leave places behind and be like, okay, I'll just go back there later because you might forget, or it could have been a very important item. This is definitely something that I would have done as well. So they're going to go back there. Hopefully they don't get as trolled this time, because that was so many times so close to getting the kills, and then Moldorms would just move right away, right at the last second.
Now, Xirtanul, I don't think he checked the race game first. I think he just went ahead and did it.
Yes, that is exactly what they did. And AaronDobbe running close on the edge again, just 1 heart, but that Moldorm stayed nice and clean, was able to get the kill, and will pick up their items in the chest and get their Ice Rod.
Now, Ice Rod will be nice if we get an early fire source and a book to go ahead and take care of Desert. Because Ice Rod does work as effectively as a Fire Rod on the Land Mola.
Yes, it does. It is just a little bit harder to hit because it is slower moving, but it does the exact same amount of damage. So if you can aim it right, it is just as effective as we get 10 arrow upgrade from the uncle. I did forget about the front of escape area. Xirtanul is checking right now.
Probably thinking one last shot at the bow before heading over to Eastern.
But no dice this time. No luck whatsoever, as AaronDobbe is checking the Ice Rod Cave. So we'll see if this is going to be a big item that Xirtanul passed up on earlier.
And Xirtanul looks like he's going to do the bomb strategy going through Hyrule Castle.
That is pretty gutsy. With 6 bombs, it is possible. Going to have to be pretty on point. It was just triple bombs in Ice Rod Cave. So at this point, Xirtanul not going there was the right play. Probably see him head there later if they're still looking for an item, but at this point, they are saving time. And AaronDobbe is going to head over to the eastern side of the map.
Oh, I like this play from Xirtanul, using the Ice Rod. And did that just straight kill? I didn't realize it killed guards.
Okay, so I thought it froze them. Maybe is it only the green ones that it freezes? So okay, this makes this decision even better for Xirtanul, less risky.
And a lucky bomb drop just in case.
Always nice to get those bomb drops early on. We're going to see what we have here in the Sahasrah's hut. We got the boots! A 420. All right, so now we can get the hook shot. That's nice. Easy boots, early boots. I hate bootless seeds, so that is glorious.
And the Moon Pearl from Hyrule Castle.
Oh, okay. So now we're starting to get some items.
So Xirtanul is now one item away from Dark World access. Aaron is able to get the hook shot. Didn't even go check Eastern after finding those boots.
And for good reason, gets the power gloves from the Bonk Rocks. So that decision to go straight here after getting those boots is a great idea.
And Aaron's going to have full access to the to Light World Death Mountain, with the exception of Tower. No, they have access to Tower of Hera right now too.
Yeah, they do, though technically that is breaking the logic since we do not have Lamp or Flute to get up to Death Mountain at this point. Both runners, though, are very comfortable doing the Dark Room to get the old man, if that is the decision they decide to go with. And I think that's where Aaron will do, where they are getting this hook shot. But yeah, that is breaking the sequence since we don't have the lamp yet, which, makes me wonder, do you think the lamp is inside of Eastern?
I wouldn't be surprised at this point.
Yeah, just kind of based on what items we have, where we've got stuff, kind of what possibilities we have for our runners. I kind of feel like that's where it could be. Where AaronDobbe's heading right now to the back of Escape is the other location. Getting those power gloves does open that up, so we'll have to see. If the lamp isn't here, then Death Mountain is definitely for sure the play, and the logic wants that.
There's also the possibility of a Flute leading up there.
Correct. That is very correct. And we did not get anything, but if I'm not mistaken, that is going to be the key in the dark room there in the sewers of Escape, as we did not see a key on Xirtanul's side.
I believe you're correct on that.
So AaronDobbe will get that knowledge here shortly. That's always nice when you don't have to go into that, get that one chest down in the sewer. And Xirtanul is making the decision to go into Eastern with even though they got those boots. So we'll have to see if this pays out.
Now, there is one other location that we haven't discussed yet that both runners are probably going to make that their last check if they need to, and that's Zora.
Yeah, that actually is open now that we have power gloves. We do also have a Gina's Cave. I think that will be a pretty late check as well. Probably try to route it in when they can first check Desert. But yeah, Zora is definitely a possibility at this point, especially with that 300 rupees on the race game. That kind of says, hey, we got enough money for it. Even with Xirtanul's hula hands, he has plenty of rupees.
Now, I am kind of surprised that Xirtanul didn't immediately go back to Kakariko Village and get the hook shot off the library.
Yeah, I guess he's just like, you know what, I'm here, I'm going to see what I can do while I'm out here and hope for the best. So far, hasn't gotten anything, but only got the one green rupee. We'll see what else there is. Oh, that's a very nice place for the big key right before the big chest.
If the bow is in here, then this becomes an even better play.
For sure. And so far, nothing.
So we know we won't find the lamp in the last chest, last chest before Armos Knights, just because logically you need the lamp here.
Correct. But this could be the bow still, so we'll have to see what this item yields. And if I'm not mistaken, we're gonna have an item on Armos Knights.
I believe we have only seen one item so far, so I'm pretty sure you're right on that. Now, Xirtanul's got to be careful. I don't believe he can damage boost in the next room to get the quick check on the chest with only having one heart.
Yeah, they're gonna have to be very careful. That one heart, they're gonna take things, get the couple of heart pieces here, and be very careful. I have to do this the slow way, clearing everything up. Oh, getting some nice heart drops though. Is able to get the damage boost, and there is the compass. So yeah, definitely an item on Armos Knights.
Chat pointing out we saw 1 rupee and 3 bombs. I thought I saw the 1 rupee.
I do remember seeing the 1 rupee. Did not remember seeing the 1 bombs. Thanks, chat, for keeping us on our keeping us honest. So Xirtanul now with those boots did not find anything in Eastern. Is going to head over and get their power gloves here and likely get their hookshot right after.
So this means that logically it's either Agina's Cave or Zora that has progression.
Yes, it does. And whether that's Lamp or Flute is yet to be determined. But yeah, logically, Agina or Zora have our progression. It looks like AaronDobbe is not going to break the sequence. They're going to want to stick with the way the seed wants them to go logically.
There's too many. We know that one of those locations has progression, and it could be better than Lamp. We could see Hammer, Titan's Mitts, just all kinds of Dark World openings.
That is a very good point. If we get Hammer at this point, that would open up Dark World access. So that is a very good point. It looks like AaronDobbe is going to pick up some rupees. It looks like Zora is going to be their play. All right, so do you think Xirtanul is going to follow suit after getting their hookshot? Or do you think they break the sequence and decide, be like, hey, I've got this. Without the lamp, I can still get all of East Death Mountain with this hookshot that I am picking up?
I think he might try one of the locations knowing that there's progression there. There's a chance it's the lamp, but that's only one of many possible progression items we could see right now.
Yes, indeed. And chat also points out that we did get a key inside of Escape, so that does mean there is an item in the dark room. I was mistaken. I thought I do not remember seeing a key. So, again, keeping us honest. Well done, chat.
And it's the lamp.
There's our lamp. So that opens up all of Death Mountain. Well, excuse me, Eastern Death Mountain, and actually all of Light World Death Mountain, since we have the hookshot and the mirror. So that is likely where AaronDobbe's heading next. Xirtanul is checking the Ice Rod Cave. Now that they have the boots, it's a little bit quicker for them, but they need to head over to Agina's for logically to follow progression on the seed.
I would probably wager that Xirtanul went this route. He's probably going to fake flipper up to Zora at this point.
That is my guess as well. And without the save and quit right here, I think you are right. They're probably going to route in Hobo as well. And since we have that Moon Pearl, he can do the waterfall chest. So actually not a bad decision on Xirtanul's part, even though it is a sequence break. Kind of like the decision. There's a lot of items for them to check with this.
Now, if one of those has progression, hopefully he remembers that the other spot that could be checked right now is Agina's Cave, and there is progression there. Though he might not need the lamp.
Fire Rod! Oh, man! Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow, okay.
That was a thing.
Yes, it was. So, yeah, that's a major item to find. That will no longer be the trolley item that I was hoping it would be, but that's okay. That is a fantastic find for AaronDobbe.
We got a piece of heart on the Zora ledge, so if Zora himself doesn't have anything, we might see Xirtanul go over to Agina's Cave anyway.
Yeah, which would be a very good decision for them. Even though Lamp is not necessarily required for runners of their caliber, they are comfortable with dark rooms. It makes everything easier, and the Lamp is not required for Agina or for Tower of Hera basement since we get the fire rod off the old man. So with those triple bombs off of Zora, that whole decision for Xirtanul ended up being a big waste of time.
And Aaron is getting richer and has also found his plastic sword.
Yes, he did. Found it in the chest right next to a bee in Paradox Caves. So they now have a sword, and which is a nice place to find it, right on your way towards Tower of Hera.
That sword has been blessed by Beator.
Yes, it has. And Xirtanul is indeed going towards the Agina Cave, so they will get their lamp and be right on AaronDobbe's tail. All right, so now, after Tower of Hera, if we don't find anything, the hammer or Titansmiths, now we'd have to find one of those soon. We need Dark World access soon. What do you think it's going to be, hammer or Titansmiths for Dark World access, or even worse, a sword upgrade or cape to go to Aghanim?
How about cape in the dark room?
Ooh.
In the dark room of Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, and then that would definitely, if we do not find the hammer or Titansmiths, that would be an Aghanim required seed. That would be our Dark World access.
Well, Xirtanul's about to confirm the dark room for us really quick.
Indeed, as we get 20 rupees on Spectacle Rock and our sword upgrade inside of Spectacle Rock. So if we don't have cape, this is still, Aghanim is still a possibility at this point.
Yeah, it may not be the cape, but we'll still have Aghanim access and still no Dark World access.
And just 5 bombs inside of the sewers. So Xirtanul likely to be heading up to Death Mountain after this as AaronDobbe gets their Master Sword. So if we get a hammer or Titansmiths, Aghanim will be taken off the table. But at this point, that is looking like a pretty real possibility.
Or it could possibly be booked to go to desert. Could be breadcrumbs.
Ooh, breadcrumbs. Ooh, and desert's just a pendant, so that would be even worse.
Now, the early mirror does make traversing light and dark world easier. You can get a few extra locations, but as said, we still need that access.
Yeah, we are far. I mean, we're close, but still not even been able to go into Dark World yet. Just a quick little snippet in there as we go into Tower of Hera, and there's our Titansmiths.
There's Dark World access, and I believe that's full Dark World access at this point.
No, we still need hammer.
I almost forgot. We still can't see Catfish, Pyramid, or Pod.
Yep, we still need the hammer to be able to avoid a full Aghanim requirement. But getting Titansmiths opens up a significant amount of Dark World and makes getting to Dark World via Kakariko and Village of Outcasts that much quicker than having to go the hammer and Power Glove route.
Yeah, it hurts having to walk around there every single time.
Yeah, and it feels so slow, and Xirtanul getting their plastic sword where AaronDobbe got their Master Sword. We'll probably see them head over to East Death Mountain shortly after and pick up the upgraded version, and AaronDobbe gets the first shield of the game. So that is our 2 items out of Tower of Hera.
That was pretty quick.
That is, man, all the trolls that we wanted are just not happening. So I guess that's okay. The runners are doing fine, but maybe there's going to be a troll still.
Yeah, Aaron didn't even have to make his way to the big key chest to open that.
Yeah, that is very nice. This is a very quick Tower of Hera. Getting Titansmiths, and then the big key was inside of the first chest. Then You just go straight up, get your fighter shield, and bam, straight to Moldorm. Very quick Tower of Hera, and very well done for AaronDobbe as we get our first crystal of the game, first crystal of the game.
Yeah, that Trolldorm did not want to cooperate, but Aaron made him do it.
Yes, indeed. He tried. He tried to troll. And Aaron's like, I'm not getting trolled today. I'm going to win this game. Aaron wants to win this game and extend this series.
Oh, and with getting Titan's Mitts, this is a very convenient place for it because now Aaron can go ahead and check Dark Death Mountain.
That is a very good point, and one slight advantage in terms of time and efficiency that Xirtanul will have over AaronDobbe, since they have not done any of the East Death Mountain. They'll be able to do it just slightly more efficiently for Xirtanul, but it's not too much of a time save because they will have a slightly harder Tower of Hera where they only have the Fighter Sword.
Fighter Sword spins and slashes both do the same amount of damage to Trolldorm, so he will go into speed mode for Xirtanul.
Yeah, and that's never any fun. Oh, we already have a bacon sword on AaronDobbe's side. 26.5 minutes in, and there is our tempered sword upgrade. So that is already, Ganon is going to be very easy in this seed. We have silvers, we have tempered sword. Very easy as we get a map check from AaronDobbe.
So Myra is your 6 crystal, Skull Woods is green, and Pod is blue.
Yes, indeed. So Turtle Rock will be required, but we already have both rods, so that's not going to be a problem.
I did not catch which medallion was required, though.
I did not either. I checked in the restream, it is Bombos.
Well, Xirtanul's already got Bombos, but Trolldorm that's a flute. Aaron's got a flute.
Aaron has a flute, and Trolldorm is having a heyday with Xirtanul. That fighter sword makes this, it is a tough fight. It's just such a short range, and that speed portion is difficult. It's tough, but Xirtanul is having a little bit better go around this time. Almost fell low there. One more hit, I believe, and he'll have it.
But death is a real possibility right now on a single heart.
Yeah, he's got to be very careful. Does not want to take a death here. Doesn't want to do anything but get the kill. Oh my goodness, so close.
Just outside of plastic sword reach.
There we go. He gets the kill as AaronDobbe activates the flute. Get your Swag Duck anthems out. I will not be singing today for you folks.
Aaron's singing a song of victory for Xirtanul.
The timing is epic. All right, so Xirtanul gets their crystal, and they're going to be heading out to get their East Death Mountain clears and get their both sword upgrades, as well as all the other items there. Get the flute, and that is going to be very nice. The seed has been pretty linear for them so far. Pretty nice, giving them all the items kind of in the routing to be able to use them and activate them.
Now, right now, there is a small time difference, and a lot of that just, I believe, came from where Xirtanul did not check Ice Rod Cave and had to go back and check it, and then also detour to Zora. So that's caused a bit of time that he has to make back up.
Yeah, that is very true. The Zora check definitely had a lot of time. Then, of course, getting trolled on Trolldorm. That added, probably at least a minute to the time as well. But the biggest time differences are the recheck to Ice Rod as well as the Zora detour. Now, if AaronDobbe does head that way eventually, then that will be some time made up, but they'll be able to do it a little bit quicker depending on how they're able to route things in, because they will be able to route Catfish in as well as do all the Zora checks if the items play into their favor.
Aaron showing his frustration at that house over there.
Yes, if anybody remembers from the last race, he did not check that chest, and it ended up costing him the race. So a little bit of a frustration, dropping the bomb, giving us a little bit of a entertainment value. Oh, and our fearless restreamer did point out that Xirtanul also did all of Eastern that he could. So that is another time save that Xirtanul will have later down the road. But, you know, it's all a matter of he needs to make up time still. It's really hard to say if anybody's behind or ahead early on in these types of seeds, just because item locations and you can find an item and all of a sudden the setting changes drastically.
Yeah, if Aaron gets stuck a little later, he might end up rechecking those locations that Xirtanul is already cleared out.
Very true. So we will have to see how the seed plays out, but if things go in Aaron's favor, they definitely have a slight advantage at this point. But we will see how things go as Xirtanul gets the knowledge that Bombos was the medallion for Turtle Rock, which is one thing that Xirtanul does have an advantage, is having that Bombos.
I'm trying to remember where he found Bombos.
Yeah, was it? It wasn't in Eastern.
Kid.
Yes, it was. Did AaronDobbe not turn in their bottle? I swear they did. We'll have to check their map next time. Our tracker may have missed it, just by virtue of them also being the restreamer for a while, and I think we did pick up our new tracker in the process, and they might have been in that transition period where we missed that, as Xirtanul picks up their flu and does a map check.
Now, one thing to know about Aaron's Thieves Town here is there's one location that won't be checked. He does not have the hammer to check the big chest.
That is true. We'll have to see if there is an item in there. So far, I wasn't counting items as well as I should have been. I know I've seen 2 for sure.
I'm with you. I think we're on 2.
I know we have had a arrow upgrade as well as that 300 rupee we just got, so we will be very close to seeing. I think I remember seeing the map, but again, I wasn't paying as good of attention as I should have been on that. I was kind of watching Xirtanul's side or actually I was thinking about Bombos, honestly, is what I was thinking of.
Well, so far we know he's found the key from the chest. So what other dungeon items does he have right now?
Well, we probably won't get an inventory check from AaronDobbe, but we will see if Blind has a final item. Then that will be our 4th item. So we'll have to see what we have here, because that for sure has been 3 items.
Yeah, on the blind fight, he has no other item that could help him. So yeah, hopefully he's got a really good blind fight. I know a lot of runners at this stage have the planned fight to a T.
Yeah, and with Tempered Sword, having that extra range should not be a problem at all.
And Xirtanul's making the Skullwoods check, even though it's a pendant.
Yeah, checking on Skullwoods, and with the Fire Rod, would be able to full clear it if necessary. So honestly, not a bad decision on their part. We're going to be able to check this as AaronDobbe got hit a few times, and almost didn't make it, but gets the kill and gets the Cane of Samaria. And that is all of our items from Thieves Town. The big chest is not going to have an item. Cane of Samaria off a blind.
A real good item to find early. It doesn't help a lot in overworld exploration, but it's good to know that when you get to Mire and Turtle Rock, you've got them.
Yeah, and that is it's an item that it has a lot of unique uses. And like you said, it doesn't really help much anywhere else outside of those 2 dungeons, but getting them, they're not going to have to worry about that at all. And we're a hammer away from having access to Turtle Rock at this point. as well. Or so actually, and Mire is now open depending on what that medallion is.
That's true. It might be worth to check. Just get the 2 items, even if you can't get into Mire.
Yeah, and at this point, not a bad decision to check that. And with Mirror, they'd be able to do the Desert Palace check, even though it is a pendant. There's items in there as we get a piece of heart from the dig game on AaronDobbe's side. And Xirtanul is heading back towards Mothula.
Yeah, the front part of Desert, it's pretty quick to check those items. So if it's got something decent up front, it wouldn't be bad to check it.
Yeah, and especially where they have the mirror, they can bounce right back out and go head to the Mire area right after if that's what they feel like doing. So it would not be a bad decision to at least check and see what those items are. There are items there, so not a bad decision.
So here's the big bad moth, and Xirtanul's doing good not getting hit. I say as he gets hit.
Commentator cursed him right there, but he gets the kill and a burrito for his troubles as AaronDobbe gets a piece of heart for turning in the dwarf. So Xirtanul now has that green pendant. It'll be interesting to see if Mothula was holding out with that green pendant.
Well, that green pendant can throw a lot of curveballs, especially if it ends up being something like, say, the bow.
Yeah, that would be trolly. And especially now, if that is the case for it, Xirtanul will be able to turn that in before going into pod. And if that's the bow, that would end up being a major, I almost said massive, changed my mind, a major play on their part, getting that green pendant before heading over that way. So we'll have to see if that holds out any value.
Aaron's getting the red meringue. It could be useful a bit later.
Yeah, and luckily it's one of those ones that even though being out of the way, it's not too incredibly far out of the way, so not a bad, not a lot of time spent going after that. As Xirtanul uses the bombos to clear out the room, that makes that room so much easier, and just we'll have to worry about the Wallmaster as they are moving this statue around.
And old Stumpy over there giving Aaron the book out of his hands.
All right, so now one thing that Xirtanul wasn't able to do, that AaronDobbe will be able to do, is check Pedestal after going towards Mothula if they so choose. And so far, though, School Woods itself has not had any value. I think that might have been our second item. It was a piece of heart there. Xirtanul went straight to the back, so I think that was our first item.
No, I'm pretty sure he checked the front and didn't find a whole lot of value.
Yeah, so maybe that green pen is the only redeeming quality for School Woods. Is AaronDobbe gets blue mail, red mail, and nothing else inside of Hype Cave. So Hype Cave was just a bunch of protection.
On 10 hearts, that might be okay.
Yeah, it's not progression hype, but that is getting those defenses is going to be very nice. Xirtanul finally checking on the Lumberjack Cave and finding out it's just 20 rupees.
It's a bit of a different routing for that, but it works out. Kind of surprised they count him as bonking right there, though. Hype Cave with a little shirt on hype today.
Yes, it was. All right, so we're going to get a Bombos check from AaronDobbe and a Graveyard Ledge check from Xirtanul.
Now, with the book and a flute, it wouldn't be too hard to go ahead and check the ether tablet while you're at it.
No, it would not be hard at all, but it looks like AaronDobbe is going to head towards Mire and Desert Palace area. I like this play. I like the decision. We're going to get some information on that being Ether for Mire. So at this point, we do need a second medallion.
Biggest question is, where is it going to be at?
Right here. Okay, maybe not. I love when that happens. You find the Maya requirement and it's just chilling in the shed right there. That's one of the funniest things ever. You get the Maya, or like in Hookshot Cave for Turtle Rock. Love when you find the medallion that's required for the dungeon right next to it.
Well, what if Ether's over here in Checkerboard Cave instead?
Close enough. I'll accept that. Alas, it was not.
We're over in the area, though. It wouldn't be a bad idea to go ahead and just check Desert for some extra items.
Yeah, and it looks like that's what AaronDobbe is going to do. Again, it's going to be a quick check, especially with boots, and if you don't find anything of value, you don't need to necessarily go to Landmalas, because they're quick to get to if there's nothing in the front, if you don't ever go into the back at all. So really, I think it's a smart decision for AaronDobbe, as we get the burrito on the torch, so it would not have been a boots luck dungeon, which I don't think we would have even been able to make it here without the boots.
I do believe you're right.
Yeah, because boots unlocked the gloves, which was the only way we would have been able to get Titan's Mitts, and then flute, which was our access over here because of where book was. So
Xirtanul's making his play through Thieves Town now.
yeah, they will eventually get their Cane of Samaria. There wasn't much more value inside of Thieves Town, but that is again, not a major progression in terms of what you can do and what it opens up. Very nice item to find, and it is very required by having Mire and Turok both required crystals.
I believe that was both items out of the desert now.
It was 10 arrows and a piece of heart. So that makes that play that much better, because the only thing left to do is kill Lamlas, and the only reason why you do that is if it ends up being a pedestal required seed, which, that's something we haven't even visited yet. What could be on pedestal?
It looks like Aaron's going to make the Skull Woods into Ped play.
Yeah, that definitely looks like what they're going to be doing. So we'll find out very quickly. I'm sure they'll do a pedestal check if there is anything of value on there. But can there be? Let's see.
The Turtle Rock, the Ether Medallion.
Ether Medallion, and that is it. No, wait, it could be Flippers. It could be Flippers.
And if it is Flippers, then there's a chance we've got an Aga 1 seed.
Yeah, we still need Hammer or Flippers to avoid Aga 1, which we have not found either of those yet. So that is definitely something that is in the books at this, or excuse me, in the possibilities at this point.
So what do we have left to check between both runners right now?
Huh. Mire? Oh, wait. Nope. Can't do that. Sorry. No Ether.
Ether Tablet and Green Pendant is all I can think. Oh, yeah, that's all I can think of right now.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that is all we have left between our both runners. We've checked everything else and have not found the next piece of progression.
Now, if they really wanted to skip Aga, there is the possibility to fake Flipper over to Ice Palace. And we know flippers can't be there.
But hammer could, so that would definitely be a major sequence break if it indeed has something of value. And it looks like Aaron's going to check the pedestal before going into Mothi. So get your pedestal hype, get it in chat. We will see what is on the pedestal.
Oh.
Just couch cash, so nothing much. And Xirtanul having 1 heart left, but having found that cape and gets the blind kill. So they get their Kana Sumaria here, and they're going to be happy to find that. Now, where does Xirtanul head next?
This is a tough one because he's already done Skullwoods. He might go check that pendant.
Yeah, they haven't done any of the desert and mire area, I think, or any of the overworld stuff that AaronDobbe has. I forgot that they have not done Purple Chest. They haven't done Dig Game. They haven't done the Dwarves. They actually got a lot of overworld stuff to check still, I think, before they do any of that stuff.
Yeah, never mind the pet then. I forgot he still got the overworld.
I did too. I completely expected it. Once I started thinking, I was like, oh wait, they have a lot of other overworld stuff to check well before they go out of their way for one possible item, which we know could very well be important because we've seen all of that Xirtanul's about to see, and it's nothing that's going to help him too much.
Now, we had mentioned the fake flipper to Ice Palace, but think about that's actually probably not that great a play since Swamp Palace is also required, so those flippers are required anyway.
Yeah, and you're not going to find Hammer in Ice Palace. Well, no, you could, but you have to find the flippers first. So I really don't think fake flippering to Ice Palace would be the best of decisions at this point. You never know. That's randomizer. Things can be crazy. But I feel like going to Ice Palace and sequence breaking to Ice Palace would be a bad play right now.
So Xirtanul's now making his Southern Dark World check. Where's Aaron going?
Checking the Bumper Cave and Graveyard Ledge items.
Probably King's Tomb while he's at it.
Yeah, did not check that earlier. Again, we know there's nothing of value in any of these locations, as Xirtanul already has been here. But that Aaron doesn't know that, so not a bad decision on their part. Got to check all these locations eventually if you're looking for an item. And right now we are looking for bow, hammer, ether. That is our remaining, and flipper, excuse me. So 4 items left for go mode.
Four from go, and this is looking more and more like an Aga seed.
Yes, it is. Now that, and people have pointed this out long ago, like 20 minutes ago, that the hammer could be on Pyramid Fairy, and that would be quite trolly.
Hammer at Pyramid Fairy, ether on Pyramid.
Wait, would you be able to do that? No, you wouldn't. Yes, you could. Yes, you could. You kill Aghanim, gets you the ether, which then gets you access to Mire, which then gets you access to the Pyramid Fairy for that hammer. That would be glorious.
Yeah, 48 minutes in. This sees given these runners quite a bit, just not everything they need to get away from Aghanim.
Yes, indeed. And AaronDobbe is going to go check on this dark room, which we know is just a 5-bomb upgrade. And Hiei points out that a possible vanilla ether, that would be pretty good. We have not seen ether tab yet, so that would be pretty awesome to see a vanilla ether.
That is on the table. That'd be pretty trolly.
Yes, the trolliest, I've said it before, I'll say it again, the trolliest location is a vanilla location.
Now Xirtanul's making the play on Checkerboard Cave. Probably going to make the play on the desert too.
Yeah, just following kind of right behind AaronDobbe's steps. And now Aaron is heading down over this way, likely to set up fake flippers. Do they do the Ice Palace decision, or are they just checking Zora and Hobo?
I'm not a fan of the Ice Palace play, but it does have a bit of merit.
Yeah, I mean, it is a crystal, so it wouldn't be a complete time loss, but I agree. I'm not a fan of it, so I hope we don't see that, just because I feel like it's not a good sequence break in any way. But we'll see what they decide to do. For sure, they're going to do Hobo and Zora. I don't think we'll see the Ice Palace play. Also, one thing to point out, AaronDobbe saved and quit to their house and forgot they could flute 8 to have made this journey a little bit quicker. They took a little bit of extra time getting over here than they would have had they fluted to the bottom the right corner of the map. But not too much of a time loss since they did have boots, and they're going to head over to Zora now, most likely.
Yeah, and the question is going to be, what after that?
Yeah, what is next for AaronDobbe? I think turning in the green pendant, or I think turning in the green pendant is your next bet. And AaronDobbe has not been in the Eastern, so that actually would not be a very bad decision on their part. They can turn in the green pendant and check Eastern all in one decision, or all in one go around. So it wouldn't be a bad play on their part. So for anybody that's joining us, both runners we've checked almost everything that we possibly can at this point. We have not seen Ether or the green pendant. That's our remaining 2 locations that between both runners that we have access to that we have not seen.
What we're looking for right now is either bow, ether, hammer, or flippers to get us somewhere.
Yeah, and the item that would open up the most progression would definitely be hammer. Where that would open up the full, well, not swamp, but that would I think hammer would open up the most at this point, because that would give you access to pod. The ether would give us access to mire, and then flippers would give us access to both Ice Palace and swamp, though swamp could very well be quickly locked by that not having the hammer. And then, of course, the bow for pod, which we would need hammer or flippers for as well. So most places are needing 2 items. The one location that only needs 1 item to full clear it is ether. If we get ether and go to mire.
Well, the bow also unlocks Eastern Palace.
And there is an item on Armo sets. That is a good point. So that is something I forgot, that we only have seen 2 of the items in Eastern, which AaronDobbe is going to head into and find out that they do not get the bow in here. So now this is where Xirtanul is able to start making up some time. Stuff that AaronDobbe skipped earlier that Xirtanul's already done, they're going to be kind of starting to converge, and they're going to be a lot closer to each other's time as we get the longer AaronDobbe does things that Xirtanul's already done.
Yeah, with the green pendant only giving out bombs, so the last location unknown to both runners is where Xirtanul's going, the ether tablet.
Yeah, and this will determine if this is an Aghanim required seed. If there is nothing here, Aghanim is definitely going to be required. So I like this decision by Xirtanul. They have a few things they could do, like they could turn in that green pendant, but they're probably trying to save that for when they go to pod, and if they can make that route work better, they're checking this far out of the way location. So we will see if Ether Tablet has any progression in just a moment.
And it could be possible that even if Xirtanul doesn't go turn the green pendant, he might go ahead and do Aga anyway. That might be a gamble worth taking to him.
It depends on what this item is, and it is the hammer. Oh my! So that kills Aghanim.
Aghanim You only get screen time once this time.
Only once. And Xirtanul, are they making the Turtle Rock play now that they got that hammer?
He's already up here. It's not a bad play.
Yeah, you know, I kind of like it. I like this decision by Xirtanul. You're going to be able to full clear Turtle Rock, and okay, all right, some Turtle Rock hype.
I believe the only difference between a full clear and a go mode Turtle Rock is do you check that center chest, and do you do laser bridge? And even then, sometimes you have to do laser bridge anyway.
Yeah, and also Mimic Cave. So this is one of the few dungeons where, like, go moding it really doesn't save you much time versus doing it full clear. So doing it early is not a bad play, and Xirtanul's pretty well equipped with Red Mail and Tempered Sword. This should not be too hard of a dungeon for him, and 13 hearts as well.
Now, no mirror shield is going to make laser bridge a bigger pain than intended to be, but I'm pretty sure he can get it done, especially with that cape helping too.
Yeah, with the cape and boots making those laser skips much more easy. Both runners pretty proficient at doing those. I've seen them before, so it shouldn't be too hard, but we will see what Turtle Rock has to hold. Many times in the past, it has been quite the value.
There are 5 items locked behind it, so there's a good chance there's value, as you said.
Yeah, value. And in Xirtanul's last round, 2 of the 3 races that he had, bow was found inside of Turtle Rock. So that's got to be in the back of his mind. Like, it's been in here so much, I need to go in here and get my bow. All right, AaronDobbe is about to get their hammer. Do they follow suit and head into Turtle Rock? I think so.
The other nice thing about them finding hammer and not something else like, say, flippers, we have the possibility of a go mode swamp and a go mode ice when they find all the items.
Ooh, and depending on where that how that works out, they can go mode mire, and depending on where that big key location, we could get ourselves a god mire as we get the quake in Turtle Rock. Wrong medallion, not going to do us any good, and that fairy trolled Aaron.
Aaron is making the same play on Turtle Rock, though.
I think it's the right decision. It's the one thing you can full clear. Pod is open now, but you may not be able to finish it. You could be bow locked early on where you need the bow to finish it. So I like the decision for both runners to go to Turtle Rock. I think it's the smart decision. It's the most efficient decision at this point. They got the hammer up on Death Mountain. It makes sense.
And Big Key is in the center, so that's a thing. I think that's vanilla, isn't it?
I was just about to say, I'm pretty sure that is a vanilla Big Key location, so that is a thing, as you so eloquently put.
And it looks like Laser Bridge is just going to be chock full of items today.
Yes, we've been getting a load of keys early on. Just the only item we've gotten so far was the Quake Medallion, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I was thinking too.
So yeah, the Laser Bridge could have a trove of treasures. We'll have to see. And both runners do have the cape, and then boots for laser skips if they need to make it easier. So it shouldn't be too hard of a laser bridge for either runner. And we're going to see Mimic Cave from Xirtanul.
Now, there are still 2 dungeon items to find in Turtle Rock. We haven't found the map or the compass, so those will probably show up very soon.
Yes, indeed. And this is not an item that's part of Turtle Rock, but it is the flippers. Oh, so that is... Mimic Cave is required. Oh, my goodness.
That is both good and bad because there's still 2 more items for go mode, and that puts Swamp and Ice firmly on the table.
Yes, it does. Like you said, it would be nice to avoid as we get the shovel out of the big chest. So, fetch quest.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them go for that before Swamp or Ice, just to try to be able to go mode both of those.
Oh, definitely. If you can go mode Ice and Swamp, you can cut so much time off your run, and it's insane how much time you can cut off by go moding those.
So, I heard you like a fetch quest.
I do. I love fetch quests.
Well, Xirtanul has a powder, so Xirtanul is on 2 fetch quests right now.
So Turtle Rock is fetch rock at this point. There is fetch quests that all we need is the mushroom in here, and it would be the trove of fetches.
There's still 2 more items, I believe, so you may get your wish.
I would love it.
Xirtanul's trying for the laser skips, but invulnerability works.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it. But got to be careful down to 2 hearts. Probably going to go set up the safe. Nope, going to use the cape. Get the small key for access to the rest of the dungeon. And there's our final heart, or final item. So, unfortunately, no triple fetch quest in Turtle Rock. But still, I'll take 2.
And Xirtanul's going to make use of that powder.
Yeah, that is, there's not too many dungeons where powder's more useful than it is in Turtle Rock, and Ganon's Tower is the only one. So getting it in Turtle Rock where he did is quite the location to get it. That's pretty nice for Xirtanul as they head into Trinex with Tempered Sword. Should not be too much of a problem.
Yeah, I was a bit worried with him continuing on with just 2 hearts and not setting up the safety door. But with the extra fairy, it makes sense.
Yep, and easily taking care of business on that Firehead. That Tempered Sword, 5 swings. You have to stun the head twice. Not too hard with Tempered Sword.
Trinex being a little bit trolly, though, in his movements.
Just a little bit, but is able to get it with just one more shot of the fire rod left. Had a little bit of extra if he needed to, and is going to be able to set up. Does he get the quick kill? Oh, does a very nice job.
That was close, but a good quick kill nonetheless.
Yeah, very well done, as AaronDobbe does get their flippers inside a Mimic Cave. Very good job to not skip that, especially knowing how required it is this time.
I've seen runners not be in go mode accidentally skip the Mimic Cave and end up costing them the race.
Yeah, it doesn't take too long to check, but it's just one of those things. It's like, I don't want to go there. It's time. I'm trying to hurry. And so glad both runners made the decision to go there. Now, Xirtanul, they are going to head to Ice Palace, maybe.
It might be quicker to check Ice Palace's chest than Swamp Palace.
Yeah, not a bad decision. Both dungeons are fully open for clearing, where they have everything required for both dungeons. So it's there. Swamp Palace has more items though, so kind of an interesting decision. We'll see if AaronDobbe has the same thought process.
With Xirtanul still being 2 items from go mode, I think I would have liked the Swamp play better. As you said, it's more items and more likely to get him straight to go mode.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would have preferred the Swamp Palace play first. It is a slower dungeon in general, go mode or not. So maybe Xirtanul's just trying to get rid of the quick things first. I don't know. We'll have to see what this yields. If it's the right decision, we'll find out if they find Bow or Ether in here.
Now, Aaron is setting up the safety exit, so if he dies, we won't have to worry about going completely through Turtle Rock again.
Yep, and gonna leave that last chest because it is completely irrelevant in this particular seed. So they're going to go probably get themselves, do they may not remember that they have a fairy or a powder. Nope, there we go.
Health is getting a little low there. There we go.
And that anti-fairy was trolling.
Now, since Xirtanul's expecting to full clear, he does not go for the bomb jump.
Yep, no need for bomb jump when you're going to have to full clear it anyways. Still looking for 2 go mode items, so just go through it like it's intended.
Plus, you have Red King for the end anyway.
Yeah, good point.
And there's an item. It's just bombs, unfortunately.
Yeah, and AaronDobbe did a little bit better on the fire and ice heads for Trinex. We get triple bombs again for Xirtanul, and AaronDobbe getting a quicker kill on Trinex. Very well done for AaronDobbe.
Not even a question. Trinex just falls over.
Yeah, that one was smooth.
Now, my question for Ice Palace is, was someone trying to blow it up?
Right? So many bombs. They're just leaving all these bombs in the chest and hoping somebody triggers them, but Xirtanul ruining their plans. Not going to let them. If we find the third item being bombs as well, then there was definitely a plot to destroy it.
I'm not a big fan of Ice Palace myself, but yeah, it seems a little bit extreme.
It's definitely extreme. And AaronDobbe is going to check on the Spike Cave location for us. Xirtanul did not do that, so this could be a very big point in the race.
If this ends up being Ether or Bow, this is huge.
Yeah, because Xirtanul, how long did it take until they head this way? They have no incentive. Oh, Aaron!
Oh! Aaron got a bit greedy. He had more than enough magic to use that cape.
Oh, Aaron. Oh, no. So he's not going to go back up there. We will not know if that is an important item or not. Oh, my goodness, Aaron.
And we've still got one item here in Ice Palace, and Aaron's going to go check Swamp Palace.
Yeah, again, I like the Swamp Palace play better. There's more. Oh, my gosh. Oh, there's the bow.
I believe there was commentary influence on that one.
Oh my goodness, okay, so Xirtanul making the play into Ice Palace. All we need left for Go Mode on Xirtanul's side is the Ether, and where that's going to be, well, if it's in Swamp Palace, that could help AaronDobbe out. So maybe the bow was the trigger for the bombs. They needed to shoot the bombs to explode them to blow up the palace. You know, maybe that's what that was there for.
But we don't have fire arrows in this game.
A spark can light the fuse on the bomb.
Okay, I can give you that one.
I'm trying to make it work with our exploding bomb palace. All right, I'm trying.
I mean, if this were Link's Awakening, we'd get bomb arrows, and we'd be fine with it.
Yeah, that would have been perfect. All right, so we've already found the map for AaronDobbe, so that's you never want to see the dungeon items in Swamp Palace ever, especially not early.
They can just go over to the left side and be fine.
Yeah, that's the best place for them.
Now, Xirtanul missed the opening spin on these cold stairs, so doesn't get the early damage or cornering them.
Nope, but with the Tempered Sword, is able to take care of Cold Stare pretty easily. So they now have their Crystal. Now, do they head to Swamp or do the Pod and Eastern? Pod and Eastern makes the most sense.
Yeah, if he's going to set up for Goat Swamp, he'll probably, like you said, he'll probably do Pod and Eastern. Question is, does he do Pod first or does he do Eastern first?
You know what? I think where you need one item and you know there's one item left in Eastern, you do Eastern first and hope it's your Ether, because then you can go mode Pod to the best of the abilities it allows you to.
Well, remember, Pod's a pendant.
Holy crap, it is. So you would avoid Pod. So you definitely do Eastern first. I kept thinking Pod was a crystal. Yeah, Pod is definitely a pendant. So yeah, definitely do Eastern first.
It seems rare to see Pod as a pendant.
Yeah, and when it is, it feels like you have to go in there and full clear it anyways. It's just one of those dungeons that it's like, doesn't matter what it is, you're doing it.
Now, Xirtanul will probably head to Eastern from Dark World to set up. No, he's not. He's playing to not go to Pod at all.
Yeah, deciding that, you know what, I'm not gonna take this. I'm not even gonna set it up. He's going for crystals only. They do still have Swamp Palace after this, so I guess that what they're hoping is that they don't even have to touch foot into Pod. Now, Aaron did not do left side, and they found the big key already, so that will actually make this decision slightly more efficient going forward. It depends on if they find Ether or not. If they find Ether, but, well, actually, no, they don't have both, so they'll still, regardless what they find here, they're going to be doing a full Swamp Palace clear.
Now, the big key was found after going through that key door, after going downstairs.
Yep, indeed it was. And it was in the location that really, if you're going to find it after that door, it's the best possible location you can find it. Because if you do want to go back into the big chest, you can. But since they still have left side to go, they know there's at the absolute lowest one possible item over there, since they've already gotten one of the dungeon items and the big key, they're making the decision like, you know, I have to go back in anyways. I'm just going to do it on my reroute. So this is more efficient on their part.
And nice job with the fire rod there, getting the hit and multiple fire rod shots, ending in 2 cycle, I believe.
Yeah, very clean Argus fight for Aaron. And back in we go for the remaining items. There's 2 more items left and 1 dungeon item. I do not remember seeing the compass at all.
With 2 items, we know we'll have to go to the left side.
Yep, and there's going to be something inside the big chest. We'll have to see what is in there.
Silver arrows on Armos Knights, just not even a challenge.
Not even a challenge, but gets a piece of heart for their trouble. So Eastern Palace did not have anything in this seed. So AaronDobbe gets 50 rupees out of the big chest in Swamp Palace and is heading over to the left side. We will see what the remaining item in Swamp Palace is.
I wouldn't be surprised if Xirtanul makes a play on Swamp right now instead of Pod.
Yeah, you know, it's a crystal. Even if you do have to full clear it, it's more efficient than going into a possible pendant. You never know what's going to be in there. Again, I think that's why he didn't set up that Dark World access into Pod, is because they're like, I'm going to avoid Pod if I can. I don't need to go in there. It's a pendant, and that's exactly what. That looks like exactly what they're going to do, as AaronDobbe is just about ready to go into the full left side of Swamp Palace. So we'll see if this is anything important, and we'll also see where Aaron heads next.
Aaron hasn't done Ice Palace yet. I wouldn't be surprised if that's his next pick.
It would make the most sense with the items they have, and even without knowing that Bo was in there, it makes the most sense to go in there next, as Xirtanul is indeed heading into Swamp Palace. So they will find a whole lot of nothing in here. So far, we have two more chests to check for AaronDobbe. We'll see if there is indeed the ether.
For those of you AaronDobbe fans, you are hoping to see ether here, but that didn't happen.
Nope. And that last chest contains the compass. So AaronDobbe is taken off. Where do they go next? It looks like they indeed are heading to Ice Palace, which we know is the right play. That is definitely the smart play. And again, it makes the most sense with the items they have. So now that leads us to ether has to be in pot at this point, right?
I'm pretty sure you're right. Unless we still have that spike cave.
Oh, that's right. That is right. I kind of wrote and wow, words. I'm going to stop with that word. I checked it out of my head because Aaron went there, but he did not get it. So it could definitely still be there.
Yeah, I almost wrote it out of the story too.
There we go. That's the way you say it. Thank you. Words are hard, guys. Don't not use them.
Now there's also Mad Batter or the Dig Spot.
Oh, that's right. Our fetch quests that we got in Turtle Rock that I was so excited about. I would love for one of those to be ether. I like fetch quests.
One of these days I might have to make a fetch quest anthem.
Yeah. I am not musically inclined, so I will not be joining you in that.
I'm not very musically inclined either.
That makes it even better then, I guess. All right, so Xirtanul making the same decision that Aaron did and is going to do the backside before doing the left side. So in terms of time spent, both will have spent the same time inside of Ice Palace. And Aaron doing the same thing that Xirtanul did in Ice Palace. Knowing they have to full clear it, neither are doing the bomb jump. Neither did the bomb jump.
So once both runners finish their respective dungeons, it will be the race to ether.
Yes, it will be. And the one advantage that Xirtanul will have when they're done with their respective dungeons is Xirtanul will have already finished the Armos Knights inside of Eastern Palace, which will not take long for AaronDobbe to do. They've already cleared out the rest of the dungeons, so it's straight to the Armos Knights. So won't be too much of a time difference, but that is a slight advantage for Xirtanul.
But if ether ends up being in pod, then question will be, will Aaron have set up the Dark World Warp early?
I think with the way that the routing is, it would make the most sense. They'll probably still do Eastern first, but not having many other locations left to check, I think they set that up so they can do it. I understood Xirtanul's decision where they still had Swamp Palace to check afterwards. If indeed ether is in there, it clearly was the wrong decision, but that's the way Randomizer goes, right?
Yep. Now, Xirtanul may have a better fight here on Argus because he's coming in with silvers.
Yes, he is, and missed a couple shots, but gets it right there. To answer in chat, can't read that. Knight. They're both runners are down to one item remaining. Aaron's about to get their bow inside of the Ice Palace. Xirtanul did that while Aaron was in Swamp Palace, so they're kind of flipping on where the other runner was. And both runners are looking for ether. We've checked most everything that we can at this point, except for pod and spike cave. So that is our possible locations for ether, which is our requirement for Mire.
Or pyramid or catfish.
Correct.
I almost forgot about those.
I did. Oh, and he points out the hammer pegs. And our fetch quest, of course. Okay, there's a lot more locations than I give myself credit than there really actually is. But we're coming down to the final locations to check.
The other thing about that, though, is that's only, let's see, both fetch quests, but plus catfish, plus pyramid. That's 4 locations, and pod has 5 items.
And in a much more condensed area. So, do they check catfish before pod? Okay, I think Xirtanul might. I don't think Aaron will because they still need to do Eastern. And pyramid at the same time with catfish. Those are just, they're so out of the way. You'd rather it be in pod. I think both runners do pod first, just because the condensation of all the items in one location would be so much easier to check than those so far out of the way locations.
Agreed. Although I do think Aaron does Eastern first, just because, as you said, they haven't done any of it yet.
Yeah. That would definitely be the play for Aaron, is going to Eastern before pod for sure. So I would be surprised if they do pod first, where they are in need of that one more item. And again, pod being a pendant.
So Xirtanul will count his items. He's about to get his last chest, and then piece right on out of swamp.
Yep, and just as AaronDobbe's about to head into the cold stare fight, so they're about on par with their timing. Again, Xirtanul having a slight advantage, having finished off the Armos Knights already. Aaron looked like they were trying to get some extra magic by killing those little jellies, but to no avail, they were avoiding him.
Looks like Xirtanul's first step is the dig spot.
And Space Cowboy, yes, both runners have full cleared Turtle Rock. All right, what does fetch quest number 1 have for us today? The shovel holds 5 bomb, upgrade nothing.
That's 1 blank.
So Xirtanul does not want to go into Pendant Pod, it looks like. They are doing everything they can to avoid that. They are checking all the overworld, gonna get their pedestal check and find out it is just couch cash. Probably do hammer pegs and powder after this is my guess, based off the fact that they seem to be avoiding pod.
Yeah, remembering the pendants, it would have been entirely possible for Ether to be on the ped had it not already been checked by Aaron.
Yep, Aaron checked that when they did Mothula, had the mirror or the book at the time, so was able to more easily route it in. Aaron is... I'm not sure what Aaron's doing.
Aaron might not know about the warp over on 5.
Yeah, they're gonna check pyramid and catfish first, I think. I think this doing it this way would be more efficient to check these 2 locations if you're gonna set up your warp outside of pod for the Eastern and pod warp. So this actually is slightly quicker than going into the 5 and then coming all the way over the other way.
For some reason, I thought they were about the same distance.
And they could be. I feel like maybe it feels maybe faster. They are not going to check catfish. They just check the pyramid. So, and the hammer pegs had a piece of heart. We are coming down to our final overworld locations. So this is getting pretty intense. Who's going to find that ether first?
Well, Aaron skipped catfish, so watch it be over there.
Oh man, that would be amazing. And we still have those spike caves that Aaron died to. So let's see. Powder has... Oh, a piece of heart. All right. So to the last 2 overworld locations that we have access to are Spike Cave and Catfish. Aaron is going to finish up Eastern and then head into Pod. Where does Xirtanul go?
Well, there was something weird that happened on Aaron's screen when he brought Kiki over there. He got a text box and Kiki didn't move.
Yeah, I saw that. That was weird.
So I don't think Pod's actually open to him right now.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll find out as soon as they finish off the Armos Knights here in just a moment, but Xirtanul is going to be going in, opening up Pod. So both runners are making the decision into Pod, it looks like. This should be a very close race, and of course, the Ether could very well not be in here. According to Hiei, they're saying that Aaron mirrored too soon and so was not able to actually open Pod. So that's going to be something that adds a little bit of extra time.
Now, neither runner has checked Catfish or Spike Cave. Xirtanul hasn't checked Pyramid. As said before, this is 5 items compared to those. Oh!
The very first item, and that is officially a go mode for Xirtanul, folks. Xirtanul is in go mode at 1 hour and 26 minutes in.
Well, that ends that speculation real quick.
Right in your tracks. You didn't even get to finish your thought. But that is that was great.
So the next question is, what kind of mire do we have?
Oh man, for Aaron's sake, you gotta hope that it is a long mire and he makes the gamble to find the big key quicker, because at this point they're behind. They do have to go get Kiki again. According to somebody in chat, if you try to mirror with Kiki before dumping him off to open the door, he says something about not going with you if you mirror. So that's why we got that text box. Too quick on the trigger with that mirror. Gonna open it here and get their Ether relatively shortly. Be about a minute and a half behind Xirtanul.
And this is still well within a left side or right side decision on GT.
Yeah, minor execution. Like, this is definitely not over yet. Keep in mind, once again, Xirtanul does have the 1 game advantage. So with this lead, they have the advantage in this race and in this series. This is for AaronDobbe's tournament life right here. They get their Ether, and they are now officially in go mode at 1:27:30, so exactly a minute and a half behind.
So, in Mire, how quickly can they find the big key? And then in Gan's Tower, how quickly can they find the big key? If both these runners make very different decisions, that lead will shrink or change. As we said, it'll change fairly quickly.
Yeah, a minute and a half is definitely not an insurmountable lead for AaronDobbe. A couple of decisions, like you said, that can completely change the outcome of this race, and a couple of bad execution mistakes. So this is far from over. Definitely not going to be an easy finish for Xirtanul. They're going to have to execute flawlessly and make the right decisions if they want to continue with this lead and win.
Yeah, even though we're saying decisions, there's still runner execution. Both of these runners execute very, very well, and it only takes one slip up, not even a bad decision, but just one slip up to close that lead and change it.
Yeah, that is exactly true. So we will have to see. This could be a very tight race coming down to it. Both runners have silvers and tempered swords, so that in terms of making up time on the fight for Ganon itself, probably won't see it made up there. It's going to have to be made up in the tower.
Even if they manage to find Buttersword is not going to cause a huge difference in the upcoming fights.
Nope, it will not. Just slightly quicker through the phases, but not much of a difference. So Xirtanul did everything they could to avoid the wall moving room. It looks like that is where they're going to have to go to get the big key. If AaronDobbe heads there earlier, they'll be able to make up seconds of time. So we'll have to see what decisions they make.
Mire is not one of the dungeons you want to see on go mode, just because that big key being anywhere, they've essentially full cleared it at this point.
Yeah, basically the only location that Xirtanul will not have checked is the big key, or the big chest itself, as we get the big key in its vanilla location for Xirtanul at 1:30:15. So we'll see, what does Aaron decide to do? Looks like they're going to follow a very similar route, and they will not be able to make up seconds of time, at least not at this point.
So Mire and Turtle Rock both having vanilla big key locations.
Yes, they did. Look at that. Vanilla keys.
At least these two did not have to do a lampless seed, because Mire lampless is not fun.
No, that room, getting that platform knocked down is so hard in the dark, and the people that can do it, it's amazing to watch. It is difficult, that's for sure.
Aaron's about to get the big key as Xirtanul is... Oh! Aaron's slightly having a mistake there, having to get that torch the long way.
Yeah, and that's those little executions that we're talking about. Little things here and there. Some of that stress and pressure is starting to get to Aaron. It looks like just turning a little bit too soon with the fire rod and missing his throws. So not optimal, but those seconds are going to add up, and he needs those seconds to go the other way.
Yeah, as he's getting to the end of it, you could see those tournament nerves coming into play, especially with Aaron. He is racing for his tournament life right now.
Yes, indeed. And Aaron did make up 2 seconds through Mire as we get the butter sword off of Vitreous. Wow, okay.
Well, that butter sword isn't going to cause a time difference just because they're both going to have it.
Yep, and there is no way that neither runner will have missed that one. So 1:32:24, Xirtanul is out of Mire and heading towards Ganon's Tower. We'll have to see where AaronDobbe is to see that time, but you know what time it is in the race.
There are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower. So either pick the number of the chest you think it's going to be in, or if you know a location, tell us where you think it's going to be.
Yeah, you got 1 through 22. You have until Xirtanul enters into Ganon's Tower for that. I myself, I'm going top left chest in the randomizer room, which could be number 11. So what about you, Dark Shadows?
Well, we've seen a lot of vanilla, so I'm kind of thinking the front chest in the Ice Armos room.
All right.
I just gotta figure out which number that is.
It depends on their routing, but I like it. I like it.
I think that might be 7. I think if you go straight right.
Yeah, I think it's 7 if you go straight right, and like 19 if you go right and then left. It depends on the routing. We will see where they go as AaronDobbe's about to finish up their Vitreous fight. Gets the kill and gets their butter sword.
Can't believe it's not butter. Yeah, I'm seeing some 19s in chat. A couple rando room. Oh, it's been trolling them on Big Key so far. Why should it stop now?
Yep. All right, so 1:34:16 entering into Ganon's Tower for Xirtanul. And have to see where Aaron is at this point. So 1:34:16 for Xirtanul.
There's the small key. It looks like Xirtanul will be going right side.
Yeah, and now do they go full right, or they just get to those first 4 chests where the compass normally is, and then head out? We will have to see in just a moment, but they definitely, getting that key, decided to go right. Has absolutely no problem with that torch room, gets through there with ease, and is going to be able to knock this down. Plenty of magic left over to be able to use the Cane of Samari there.
Aaron's heading up to Turtle Rock to get the warp.
Chest number 3 was the Fire Shield, half magic, and a big bomb. So 1 through 6, not yet. Getting half magic is that's a nice find. So depending on, that it's not going to make a huge difference going down the road, especially where at this point they have Butter Sword. But that could be something that if Aaron goes straight left, they will not get, and it could make a small difference in those torch rooms. As we find 300 rupees on the torch, Bob will live today. That was location number 7.
Bob will live, probably just die by powder.
Yep. 8 and 9 were both 10 arrows. A small key for 10, and the big key in 11.
There were some 11s.
Yes, there were. And AaronDobbe entered at 1:36:15, a full 2 minutes behind. Xirtanul made up 30 seconds in the difference from entering Mire to entering Ganon's Tower. So that time is going the wrong way for Aaron, and they're going left. They're going to make up some time here.
Be a huge time save.
I mean, and again, that half magic isn't going to make enough of a difference, I think, where it's going to be something that gives Xirtanul a huge advantage. This is what Aaron needed to do. This is going to bring this race that much closer.
If this was silverless, the half magic might matter, but I don't think they'll need it right now. Yeah,
and that's exactly it. With being silver, having silvers, the half magic isn't going to make enough of a difference for these runners. And Aaron goes straight for the big key. Having a small key, he's out. So making huge time save by going that way.
Going with 2 keys, so he's not going to have to worry about killing the mini Helmasaur.
Yeah, neither runner will have. They have plenty of keys going up, but that is so AaronDobbe made the right decision, made the right play, and even quicker by not checking all those other chests. So they made up a lot of time right there. This is execution's going to be very vital for both runners. This is going to be close.
Xirtanul's gauntlet has been very clean so far.
Yes, it has, and AaronDobbe, so far, both those mimic rooms were very well done, but Xirtanul's gauntlet has been quite well done. But there we go, finally gets that last one.
I think that was the first real slip-up for the gauntlet.
It was. Of course, you said it. Commentator's curse on Dark Shadow. Shame on you. All right, so on to Lamela's 2 for Xirtanul. Gets the first shot with the silver, second one, and the third one. Fantastic.
3 shots, 3 kills. Very nice Lamo, too.
That was a very well done Lamo, too. So Aaron needs to have some even more flawless execution. Starting off good. Aaron taking care of those Wiz robes. Really well done.
And the 1 cycle on the Wizrobe room.
Yep, got 1 cycle on both of them. AaronDobbe had a little bit of trouble with that room just there, but gets them taken care of and takes care of the next room with ease.
Now Aaron's health is starting to get a little low here.
Yeah, and that's going to be, oh my goodness, going to have to use their blue potion. It's just, again, that's the time that they can't use. Oh no, Xirtanul messing up on the torch room. The first torch room did not get it in time.
Oh, that's going to be some time that Aaron can make up.
Oh, and Aaron does not get the 1 cycle on the Lamellus, missing the final shot, but gets the kill there. So Xirtanul heading on up to the second torch room.
Yeah, each Lambo still dies to 2 gold sword swings, so it's a nice alternative to the silvers.
Yeah, and easy to take care of him that way. Just a little bit quicker with the silvers, but Aaron did have to use the ferry, or use the powder on the ferry to, and that desynced him. Oh, doesn't get the 1 cycle on the second Wizard Room.
And Xirtanul's chance to get revenge on Troll.
Oh! Trolldorm strikes again. So this is good for Aaron. That's just seconds that he needs right now.
Trolldorm 2 is just like, hi, remember me?
Even with Buttersword, Trolldorm is like, I'm not letting you get out of here easy. But Xirtanul takes care of business on the second go around and gets Trolldorm 2 down. Little early on the hook shot, but we find 20 rupees in the final chest of the game. So Xirtanul is on their way towards Aghanim 2.
Getting through the bumper room clean. So we'll see how trolly Aghanim decides to be.
Yeah, this is going to come down to who does better on these final bosses. Oh, AaronDobbe gets trolled by Trolldorm as well.
Trolldorm taking no prisoners tonight.
Absolutely no prisoners. He's having all sorts of vengeance on this fight. Oh, no,
another
Aaron.
one.
That is not good. And Xirtanul finishes off Aghanim 2 with 141.28. So they are just making more time at this point with those falls by Aaron.
And it wasn't exactly kind with those blue balls either.
It was not. And Xirtanul didn't do too terrible. AaronDobbe passes the final chest. Doesn't not have time for that business right now.
And Ganon giving us some 6 slug facts.
Oh, Aaron almost getting the triple there. Hit that last one just a little bit too early. Gets 2 though. Oh, that blue ball trolls him. Does not get any in that phase. As Xirtanul is in the second phase of Ganon. With that Butter Sword, you're able to go through so fast and is already on the third phase.
And I think Aaron was about to get his last hit there, but Aghanim decided, oh, I'm going to teleport right now.
Yeah, Aghanim is trolling Aaron as Xirtanul needs one more hit and is in onto the final phase. There we go. Final phase for Xirtanul. Just 4 silver arrow shots. Should not be a problem for Xirtanul.
As long as he hits.
And I cursed him.
So this race has kind of been the story of Commentator's Curse.
Oh, almost got the triple there, but gets the nice setup, gets the single, one more hit for Xirtanul, and it is GG's.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see a fall right now.
No, I don't think we will.
GG for Xirtanul.
Yes, indeed. Make it through that fanfare over the bridge, and you have won. And there it is for Xirtanul, winning in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 37 seconds. GG's to Xirtanul, and congratulations on advancing to the finals.
This was still a really close race. Xirtanul finishing Ganon as Aaron drops down.
Yeah, super close race. Aaron just one more hit away from heading to that 4th phase. And there he goes. Be able to get that again. 4 silver arrows straight to the face of Ganon and be able to take care of business. Gets that first one. Almost gets the torch glitch. Not quite. Oh, sets up for a nice double, maybe triple. Almost got the triple.
Still doesn't need another torch though.
No, very, very clean 4th phase for Aaron there.
Aaron will clock in with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 41 seconds. Only 1 minute and 4 seconds behind.
Whew, that was definitely a close race coming down there. And unfortunately for Aaron, that is the last race of the tournament. Their tournament is done. But congratulations making it this far. I mean, top 4 in the secondary tournament with 150 to begin with. That is nothing to be ashamed of. Well done to both runners, and GG's for the race.
I do believe there's still the bronze match for the secondary tournament.
Oh, you're right. He does have a bronze match. He will be going up against either Dude or Zane. That is correct. There is the bronze match. And we will be getting our runners in for an interview shortly. Give them a moment to decompress after that race.
This was a really close race, and if you all like what you saw, be sure to give both of these runners a follow and check them out between tournaments.
Yeah, they put on quite the show for us today and throughout the tournament. So definitely give both of the runners a follow. They are worthy of that follow. Both of them had a fantastic run.
And we have AaronDobbe in here with us. Hey.
Hey, hello.
GG's, Aaron.
Yeah, thanks, GG's. But damn.
So close. That was quite the race. How's your heart feeling?
Man, still pumping. It hasn't calmed down yet. A little bruised from the fall in the middle or the fall that my heart made in the middle of the Ganon fight.
Getting that done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was like right at the moment you dropped in too.
Mm-hmm.
That is tough. You up until that point, how were you feeling? Did you think you had it? Did you think you had a chance, or where were you feeling?
Oh man, I felt that it was about this close. Given the way the seed went, like with the hammer location, just bottlenecking most of this, and then the rest of the important items being found in dungeons. I can't imagine that. It would have turned out to be a huge difference unless one or the other of us did something crazy.
Yeah, really the race was, besides obviously going different directions and doing things, you were always kind of cleaning up what the other one did while flipping around. So there was never really a moment where either one of you was able to make a gamble and kind of go out there and either make a big play or have it hurt them. We were worried that Spike Cave was going to have an item for you when you took that death there.
Yeah, me too. But I knew after that there was no way I was going back there. So
that was definitely a rough one. We saw you kind of sit on your menu where to save and quit back to, and kind of maybe go back, and then decided, nope, I'm out.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, Xirtanul didn't make a play over to Spike Cave. So that was probably one of the biggest time differences we saw.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and looks like we are now joined by Xirtanul. GG's and congratulations on advancing to the finals there.
Oh, thanks, man.
Hey, GG Xirtanul.
Good game, Aaron.
Yeah, what a race.
Indeed.
So one thing I wanted to ask you all, did you all think this was going to be an Aghanim required seed?
I had that feeling for sure. I was honestly considering sequence breaking to Ice Palace instead of going to Aghanim if I didn't get the hammer when I did.
Yeah, same here. I think the Ether Tablet was the last overworld spawn I had left for hammer, and I was just ready to go into Ice Palace.
Yeah, I believe it was the same for me.
But, Flipper's once again a Mimic Cave. That is too often. I mean, 2 out of 2 so far.
Man, I think 6 of the last 8 Cs I've played have had Mirror where it was this time. You drain the swamp. It's so weird. I don't know why it's happening to me all of a sudden.
Yeah, that was chilling down there. Early on, the game didn't really give you a whole lot in the seed. It kind of made you do a lot of overworld clearing, and so both of you, kind of when you finally got the seed to progress, were really right on each other's tail.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's just that kind of seed.
The only difference at that point when you had first Dark World access was Xirtanul had actually decided to go into Eastern Palace and check out those items before having gotten the Titan's Myth. So slight time difference there. When you got the boot, Aaron, you took off and went straight over and ended up getting your power gloves. Xirtanul spent a little extra time going into Eastern Palace.
Yeah. That's it's kind of my thing, is to avoid an Easter double dip if I can.
Well, you didn't miss much. I think I got 1 green rupee and 3 bombs out of it.
I did. I did eventually go back, but there was nothing there.
Yeah, once you got down to the point where you had nowhere else to go, you ended up going back in there. Yeah, there was nothing inside of Eastern Palace. So
it looked like both of you were avoiding Ice Palace and Swamp Palace until your choice was either those two or Pendant Dungeons.
Yeah, my choice actually was, well, Aaron probably goes Swamp, so I'll go Ice. And then I found Bow. I was feeling really happy. And then I was still missing Ether, so I went to clear Eastern. And in hindsight, I was so, well, not angry, but just so disappointed I didn't just check into pod for that very first chest.
Yeah. What about that Ether location?
Yeah, that was interesting. It was like, hey, it's right there. Okay, time to go.
Yeah, and Xirtanul, you were right. Actually, as you were doing Ice Palace, Aaron was inside a swamp, and then he gets flipped. So that is exactly what he did. But yeah, that Ether location was that was pretty fantastic.
Oh man, and then the big key and Meyer trolling me too, well, the full 100% as well. But I have to say, I felt this was extremely close, and then in Ganon Tower, I, well, somehow managed to screw up the torture room, and then I just kept on getting more nervous, then I got another Moldorm fall, and I was like, well, Aaron's not done yet, what is happening? I think, like, he's gonna snipe me or something, and I had that feeling right until I hit the dot done.
Man, I fell out to Moldorm 2 twice. I was getting super frustrated.
Moldorm 2 did not want to deal with any of your guys' crap today.
Then Moldorm basically won the race, because I think Moldorm 1 knocked me down like 4 times in a row.
Yeah. So that was one difference. Xirtanul, you had Fighter Sword going up there because you didn't do any of the East Death Mountain, whereas Aaron did and had Master Sword going into Moldorm. So that made his Moldorm 1 fight a lot easier than yours.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But then again, I was happy with the mid, so I could just clear East Death Mountain right away as well.
Right.
And then I, well, got my Master Sword and Tempered, and I was like, oh, of course, I don't get that stuff right before Moldorm.
That hunt for Ether at the end of the race, though, because you both were on one from go. You're both on Ether from go mode for quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, it's always annoying, the hunt for a medallion to finish the seed. Because, like, if that's the case, that just means that pretty much everything else is open, so you've got to look everywhere, and you have, like, no real clues or anything that you can gather from what's left.
I think I even checked out Master Sword Pedestal before I went into pod.
Yeah, you did. And that's actually another difference in the race. Aaron had gotten the book by the time they went to School Woods and finished Mothia, so they had the knowledge that Pedestal was not required probably about 45 minutes before you did. They had early information on that.
Okay, yeah, so he did South Dark World first.
Correct.
And I think he finished off Skullwoods as well with the amazing finds right in there.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Skull Woods meme died this race.
I think the Skull Woods meme died when they fixed pod. That's my theory.
Yeah, ever since version 27, School of Woods has not been as lucrative as it was in version 26. 26, it was just like, there's always something important in there.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of times I pulled like Flute or Hammer out of Swamp or out of Skullwoods was just ridiculous in V26. I think it was like 1 out of 2 races.
Yeah, it was, yeah, I'd say 50% chance having a very big item in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was thinking, well, last race our green pendant gave us fire odds, so might as well just clear it, and they just gave us 300 rupees.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Like, I'll might as well grab it, but no, it was worthless in the end.
Yeah, all right, so Xirtanul heading into the finals. What are your thoughts? How are you feeling?
I really have no idea. I'm completely flabbergasted that I made it, to be honest.
And your opponent is yet to be decided. It'll be either Dude or Zane. I don't know if you have watched either, if you have a preference on running against either on their particular style, if you think you'd have a better chance against them.
Well, I don't really have a preference for style, but if I have to pick one, it has to be Dude. I mean, we just have to have an All Dutch finals.
Okay, all right. See, all right. So, Aaron, on your end, your tournament life is not over. You have a chance to get that 3rd place. So, you do continue to race. How are you feeling going into that bronze match?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best to try and get on the pedestal. But even if I don't, like, I'm just super happy I made it this far. I went into this thinking like, man, I just want to get like top 16. And then I made it to top 4, so I can't complain about any of this.
Well, like I said to you, Aaron, I really think you're a really good runner. As well, I've watched your stream a couple of times, and well, you deserve to be in the top 4, to be honest.
Oh man, yeah, same to you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and once again, congratulations on both of you making it to the top 4. And the stipulation with that is you both qualify for the next tournament. So that is, that's always very nice knowing that you're going to be in that main tournament next year or next tournament regardless. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely. Yeah, when I did the qualifiers for me this time around, I kind of crashed and burned pretty hard. And I was super frustrated about it. So I'm glad that I was able to prove in this tournament that I'm the better player than my play in the qualifiers reflected. That was something that's been on my mind the whole time.
Yeah, it said you don't have to worry about the qualifiers for the next season, so that's definitely a plus.
Yeah, it's a relief for sure.
And I see Ben's already excited about racing against us.
Yeah, he's in chat saying, "Let's race next tourney." He's hyped.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, is there anything that either of you runners would like left to mention or say before we close this up?
Yeah. Just want to say thanks everyone who came out and watched. Thanks to everyone running the show today and always. To shout out some friends of mine, Adrian, Beaveredge, Clifford, DT, Flaffy, GamerCal, Hiei, Jackie, Monty, Mr. Wonder, Notch, New Life, Ninnies, Plagued One, Tear, Willard, Wizrobe, Yume, and Zalbathar for all being super, super supportive of me in this tournament. Very honored to call you all friends, and yeah, thanks for everything. It means a lot.
Awesome. Always good to have friends that support you. And Xirtanul, any last words?
Well, I'd just like to thank the Clifford, of course, for making the last minute restreams. I just love you for that, man. The commentary, of course, the tracker, EA for adminning this, and of course the viewers as well that have been supporting me over the last few weeks. And I really hope I can make it all the way through. But I'm just happy I made it into the finals.
All right. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and give one last word before I give the final thoughts to my co-commentator. I have been Sir Laugh-A-Lot. Once again, thanks to both runners for putting on quite the show. If you enjoyed what you saw, please give them a follow. And like Xirtanul said, thanks to Clifford for putting this restream together last minute, and Rywick for hopping in last minute and doing the tracking. It was a pleasure having you guys on our side. And Dark Shadows, it was a pleasure commentating with you. I will leave the last with you.
Thanks. It's been great commentating this with you, and it's been a great race and a great tournament. All of our runners involved here have been just putting their all and giving us a lot of great races. And be sure to catch both the second semifinal race and the finals once we determine who Xirtanul's opponent will be, and the bronze match once we figure out who Aaron's opponent will be. But this has been Dark Shadows 59, commentating with Sir Laugh-A-Lot, and we will see you on the next race.